Hey there, lords and ladies. Welcome back to the Dragonpit. It is just us two once again. Peter bailed on us.
Mm-hmm. And we're back to back. So we don't usually see each other every single day, Rollin. So we might be a little feisty.
Right.
But that's okay.
All right.
This episode was a little feisty.
I would agree. I think that it had a lot of jumping around like the last one did.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to combine some areas. We're going to keep some areas out of it. But
I think we're going to have there's a lot to discuss. Honestly, I would really love to know what non-book readers thought, because this was like the biggest lore drop of any. I mean, there were tons of lore from every single plot. I mean, we got Harrenhal, we got Dorne, we got so much lore throughout. That
the Yellow Toad storyline itself was fantastic because you saw some of the tactics. But that's
we'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
But I mean, there's just a lot happening. So we're going to try, and we'll skip around a little bit, but I think there are a few quick storylines we can kind of run through at the top. First off, maybe we'll start with Harrenhal, because it does kind of start with Harrenhal, and we see right away their
hordes of cutthroats coming in, trying to find Aemon One-Eye to claim the castle.
Yeah, get the castle. And Alice is not having any of that. She sort of scares them off. She gives I don't think show watchers have ever really, maybe when Arya is at Harrenhal in the original Game of Thrones show, they talk about Harren and how he used slaves to build Harrenhal and how it's haunted. Maybe we've talked about it before too, but they really go into it.
The stones were like
watered with blood,
and they're always thirsty.
Yeah. Did you think that she was actually doing magic, or do you think it was just like a magic trick?
No, I think it was more of a magic trick. I think that, the little rock with the bats that came out.
Yeah, like a disappearing act.
Correct. It's don't look over here, look over here.
Yeah.
And even when Aemon kind of stumbles out on the balcony, he's like, "What the hell? Where am I at?" And one of the things is like what I enjoyed about this little stint there is that his descent into madness is very much like Daemon's descent into madness. And
they're both laying in that weirwood tree bed.
And Vagar's like, "Fuck this place!" Like he's like, "I'm out." Like Caraxes was in the same thing. He's like, "Let's leave. Let's not be here."
Yeah.
And like
this place is haunted.
And Vagar's like, "I'm not gonna do this." So he just bounced. He's out burning the riverside.
Yeah, and can't really figure it out.
Probably, I think he's hiding in the God's Eye Woods, personally, because he just keeps disappearing. They can't find him. He's a big dragon. They can't find him.
Yeah, Vagar's a hoary old bitch.
And she's just eating farm animals and just
living her best life.
And waiting for Aemon to
get healthy,
heal up, and get better.
And I mean, to her credit, Alice is doing a pretty good job at that. I mean, he got knifed in the kidney, so he's made a good recovery, and maybe it's because of his own mommy issues. But they do seem to be like bonded in a way that she and Daemon were not.
Well, I think it's that she sees opportunity in him. And, and I think she plays up the mommy issues. We have the whole breakdown of Aemon and Aegon kind of
Yeah, they're parallels.
They're like reminiscing. Like Aemon's like, she always loved him more, right? And like this all breaks down. They both just have traumatic mommy issues. Yeah, with Alicent. And I think I was wrong. I think the worst mother after this episode in all of Westeros is Alicent.
Yeah,
because what she does with Helena,
yeah. That's a good point. That is a good point.
She's just selfish.
We needed one more episode before we got to the worst mother in Westeros. Man. Yeah, she's way bad. She's way worse than Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, way worse.
Yeah,
she's so self-interested.
Yeah,
and she acts like she's trying to save everyone and be in the right spot. I think I was off on that. I think she's the worst mother. But
and for both of her sons, I mean, it really is a struggle for both of them. We see Aemond being sad, being like Aegon always tormented me, blah blah blah.
I worshipped him. He was like
he was my big brother. Right. All this stuff. And Alice is like really, I think, trying to heal him, trying to get him back, trying to say like, oh, it wasn't your fault. She loved you. And you're just like, I don't think you know her, girl. Like Allison is not like your son or the son. But then we see at the end, because we're just going to skip through here, the group of, and did you catch that they're Greyjoys? Because he says, I'm going to make you my salt wife.
Yes.
So they're Greyjoys scaling I think the first group was not, the second group was.
Right. And they scaled the wall. I thought it was a phenomenal, like, aerial, like, cliff shot that we haven't really seen a cliff face climb since the original series. And then when they get to the top, I just thought these guys meant business. The last group of cutthroats were actual cutthroats, they were pirates. And I just thought the actor moved with such intent that it was such a awesome fight scene. Like he was like, I am hurt, but he's still just like dominating the space.
But he's definitely moving a lot slower. And when we first meet Aemond and when he's training with Kristen Cole in the yard, like he could have easily taken out 4 guys with like nothing. And this time he kind of struggles to take out these 4 guys, but he does it.
Yep.
And they're bonded for it. So let's then talk a little bit about Rooks Rest with our other poor tortured
tortured brother is lying about.
I loved it, right? Like I'm so proud of Larys because Aegon's there bitching away. Woe is me. My brother tried to kill me. I've never been good at anything. No one ever loved me.
My brother got all the attention because he only had one eye, and I
and he had a bigger dragon, and he was better at learning and sword fighting, and my dad didn't ever love me enough. And Larys, I think Larys has just had it with him. He's like, I've been trying to keep you and your ass alive for so long. And I'm done with this.
He leads off like, my dragon's dead. I'm a cripple. I want to kill my brother. And like, he was jealous of Sir Kristen and his brother's relationship.
Yeah.
He was like, that's my friend. And they're like palling around. And mom loved him more the whole time. And Larys is just like, dude, you suck.
Yeah,
like,
and he just says it. He says, you're a terrible king, and you're a terrible man.
And then just leaves.
And he's just like, I'm out. Like, I'm done. I also like that he's like, you're hungry. Like, it's like, you need a snack and a nap, and then...
Well, he also brings up, like, you've had every advantage ever.
Every advantage, and Larys hasn't.
Yeah, but that's always Larys. And he's like, if I was you, I would have done so much more of this. But, like, obviously... Your situations makes who you are, but he's like, your dragon Sunfire was so beautiful.
Yeah, they named her for the sun,
and you trampled your birthright into the dirt. And he all has valid points, and then he just does what he does best. He manipulates into the situation exactly where he wants to be. Yeah, and he leaves, and then the realization hits Aegon, and he returns to camp. And that's when we cue the Tylen Lannister music, just like the WWE out of nowhere. Like, da-da-da.
I mean,
Tylen's here.
Like, I know we've diverged from the books here, but I still said he wasn't dead.
Right.
Like, I sat here 3 weeks ago and said, unless you see him die.
He's not dead in the books either.
He's not dead in the books, but they've made a lot of book canon changes at this point. They have. But Tylen shows up, and Tylen has a different plan. That he wants him to go to Lannisport. He wants him to go over, to Casterly Rock.
And it's a viable option. Like, so if you weren't tracking, Larys wants to get a boat, go across the sea
to Bravos,
get out of Westeros, and like regroup. Yeah. Like, in essence, regroup, get his strength, get to a point where they're not on the run or on the lam, and they can
and Larys has been planning this. Like, he's stored part of the bank, the gold from King's Landing in Bravos. He's like, look, I've got money saved away. Aegon and I can go have a nice life and sit in the fruit trees and sip on wine and we'll be fine. And Tylan says, like, I just came from there. They're horrible. Yeah, they're not going to help us.
Right. We need to get back to my house. You guys are more than welcome. I got a bunch of rooms. And Laris is rightly like, I don't know if he's skeptic because it's somebody else's plan. But I think but personally, I thought he was skeptic because he's no longer dependent. If they go with his plan, he's no longer going to be dependent on him, and without his dependency, then he has
nothing,
very little value.
Yeah,
and so like he wants Aegon to be in a position where he has to lean on Aegon at all costs, and so this popping up out of nowhere kind of puts a big wrinkle in his plans.
And I wonder how much of more of a wrinkle his plans are going to cause when the Janos, who's the bad guy, sneaks up on them, finds the crown, and Aegon kills him.
Oh, I just thought it was so funny though when he goes, Gregor, is it? And then he has his knife and he slips.
No, I think he used his dragon scale.
Oh, you thought that was a scale? I thought it was a knife.
Yeah, because he was holding the dragon scale in his hand, which was like that silvery gold scale. Yeah. So I think he stabbed him with a dragon scale.
Well, he did a hell of a job because all of a sudden there's blood running out of his mouth, and I just thought the line was, "You can call me your grace." Well
the other thing I thought was interesting, and this also goes to Aemon too. Do we think that's the first person Aegon has killed? So if we go back to like Rhaenyra and Darren, is this the first time Aegon's killed
with his own hands?
With his own hands,
probably. I mean, not through negligence, because his negligence is lots of people.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe this is the first kill without his dragon.
And then I also wonder if this is the first person Aemond has killed. Those four guys. Well, I mean, I guess like in battle, I get that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm wrong. Because we did see him kill a bunch of people when he invaded Harrenhal.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure that Aemond would have killed people except on his dragon. Like he burned cities to the ground. He killed Luke. He's killed people, but with his hands, I wonder if he's actually killed people before.
I think
you think, we think Aemon's a trained killer anyway. Yes, but this is maybe the first time Aegon has killed anyone.
Yeah, I would
with his hands
without being negligent or on his dragon.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna move us to Tumbleton.
Okay.
Because Tumbleton's so we get to Tumbleton, we see that Ormond has gotten a message, but he then starts playing like their equivalent of chess, checkers.
Yeah, I would say it's chess. It's a move counter moves. Like there's obviously it's a strategy game.
But he says to Daron, he says like, have you been reading our histories? And it's interesting because it also feels like Daron just started reading Hightower. Like 3 days ago, he decided to pick up the history books, which whatever.
I think they were assigned to him 3 days ago.
Yeah, when he was like, you're going to be a Hightower now, and now you're going to learn our histories. And he calls them dry. And which they are. I mean, come on. Compared to Targaryen history, like settling some disputes between minor houses is no
like
burning cities to the ground with dragons.
You did not conquer. They're not conquer.
Yeah.
So he goes, I want to venerate our ancestors.
Yeah.
He's just trying to use every word in the thesaurus or dictionary to sit there and try to backtrack the word dry.
Poor traumatized child.
Right. And then we get the lesson.
We get the lore drop.
Yeah, the yellow toad.
Yeah, do you want to talk about her?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting.
It is.
Like, we've talked about this in the past about how it's not the Seven Kingdoms and Dorne's sitting down there, unbent, unbroken.
Unbowed,
unbent, and then unbroken's kind of
the one that gets added.
That gets added because she refused to be. This is the one that refuses to be broken, and you can see that Ormond has reverence for her.
Yeah,
like he looks at her.
He says he calls her the only woman to have ever been gifted with a truly military mind.
And then he had to add, like, she's ugly.
But she's an ugly, fat, gross whore.
And she was not like a woman at all, but she had a really good mind. And like,
but he respects her.
He did. He does.
In the shittiest, most misogynistic way possible.
He's like, she was so good at what she did. She poisoned her own wells.
Mm-hmm.
She made her men hide in the desert.
Yep.
Did these sneak attack things, which is ironic because this is kind of what's
no.
going
This
on
is exactly
right
what I think. I think the point of learning all this about Dorne and Miriam Martell is because that Ormond is using these lessons to take out the Targaryens. He says, like, she is the woman who defeated Aegon, the Conqueror, and I'm going to use those same tactics to undermine the Targaryens.
This whole crap. And then he has his mental breakdown, too, and he's like, I was lucky, you're good, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't ever apologize.
Yeah, when Daron beats him.
Right.
Yeah. And then we see that he makes those coins for Daron, which I was thinking about, like, okay, if you're going to pay spies in King's Landing or like vigilantes to kill people, why give them the gold with the face of your new king on it?
Because I think he wants it to get in circulation.
He wants it.
He wants the rumor mill.
It just, to me,
he's like, what are these? Are these gold dragons? Like, no,
like
they're Goldarians.
You're absolutely then like condemning those people, though.
Right, but he
doesn't care. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I don't. You're right.
He's trying to get the gold into the system, and he's trying to get word of mouth that there's a new player on the board. Intended that we.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like when the gold starts to transfer hands, and there's being spent, if the queen seizes the money, and she's just taking money from them out of their pockets, and it's worsening the plight of the poor people. At the same time, he is going to flood the zone with these coins.
He's going to mint new money.
Right. And they have the capital to do it. When she doesn't have capital, it's just going to undermine her authority, her power, her strength.
Yeah. Well, those are the three small plots. Now let's get to the Riverlands, because I know that's what you want to talk about. Or do you want to go to King's Landing next?
Let's do Riverlands.
Yeah, let's do the Riverlands. So we start the episode in the Riverlands. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, that like it makes no sense that Criston Cole and his military would be doing guerrilla warfare because they don't know the lands. Like the Rivermen know their lands. The Rivermen know which streams and rivers and bogs there are. And so for Criston to think he's just going to outsmart them, we said just yesterday, like, what an idiot.
Right.
But
this episode does something that we didn't have knowledge of yesterday, which is he never intended to survive.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's following orders anymore. It's not that he's trying to win the war. It's that he's not going to lose face.
Yeah.
And his whole intent in this entire episode is to maintain his status.
Yeah.
And he does himself.
I know. What a crazy. I mean, this is why we needed Pete here, because the audacity of Criston Cole. We'll get to that in a second. So basically the Oscar Tully, like the Winter Wolf, Roddy the Ruin wants to just send the Winter Wolves. And you have a good point about how this sort of goes down.
So one of the things that I thought at the beginning and then ties in is, we're going to take your 100 fastest men. We're going to get out in front of them. We're going to lay traps. We're going to burn the bridge. And this is kind of the same thing that Robb Stark does.
Yeah.
When he's going up against Jaime, where he sends basically 3,000 men to his death, and he tells them, like, we have all our powers. We're marching on you. You go tell your Lord Uncle what's happening. And Tywin expects to go into battle, and he's left there holding the bag, where he kills the 300 or 3,000, but the rest of the army is marching, and they're on the move. And what they do is they get ahead of them. They lay the trap. They go out. I think they called it crow's feet, which is like basically bear traps, which is messing up the hooves of the horses.
Well, I think they actually just do have actual crow's feet.
Right. And they put them down. And
so that the horses step on them.
Or get seriously hurt. And it makes their trek through the mud and the bogs even worse. And then they burn the bridge. And at the very beginning, he's like, "We're gonna port the river. We're gonna get rafts. We're gonna take our crew." But they think the bridge is gone. So now you have the whole host coming up behind them.
Yep.
and they're trapped in between the river and the incoming horde.
Mm-hmm. And they're just dummies. They're such dummies. So Gawain, I feel bad for Gawain Hightower. I think like he does want to be Kristen's friend and is trying to like give Kristen some hope and says to Kristen, like, you can come to Old Town and you can serve my house and like just stop trying to kill yourself, dude. Like nobody wants to follow you.
Right. I think that's like Gawain just doesn't understand the situation that he's in.
Yep.
And when he offers him refuge, like that's the last thing.
Yep.
That Christian Cole wants.
Yeah.
Crispin wants honor and glory. He wants songs sung about him.
Yep.
He wants Allison to know that he died in combats in the name of the Greens.
Yeah.
Even though he could care less about that. He just wants her approval.
I meant to look because my first thought was, I don't think there are any songs about Kristen Cole that we've ever heard. I don't think Kristen Cole, like we hear songs about the twins who kill each other.
Yep.
We hear songs about Eric and Arik. We hear songs.
The Thousands, Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah. Ballads about Daemon. We hear songs about Corlys. Like, I don't think anyone sings a single song about Kristen Cole for the rest of his life. And like, I am so glad about it.
I also, I want to mention again, Gawain is an underappreciated character in this thing. And he's like telling the story of him and Ormond kind of growing up as friends and rivals. But he's like, he was always a thin skinned twat. I thought that was funny. It was like, he does not like his cousin.
Nope.
Like he's had it out for him since the beginning.
Yeah, and he's always had to like defer to him because his cousin was going to be the Lord, and so he needed to, sort of curry favor, I guess, with him, or it just like wasn't worth it. And Otto would have said like it's not worth it for you to fight with him, and so he let him win.
Right.
And poor Gawain. So I want to come back to Kristen's speech at the end because one thing that we want to talk about is like, who's given really stirring speeches. We see Kristen give one and we see Daemon give one. But let's go to King's Landing because that's really where most of this story takes place tonight. Our first entry point into King's Landing this episode is we see Orwyle coming to bring some moon tea to Allison and Helena. Or we got to get into how bad of a mother Allison is.
Allison's just a terrible mom. She's trying to.
But I mean, I agree with Allison that Helena needs to take that moon tea.
See, listen, Helena just doesn't want the abortion. She's not about it. She was like, "This child is mine." Mm-hmm. Orwell is just.
I think it's funny that
trying to play both sides, but he's doing a very good job of like, listen, this is the last one. Like. I got people watching me.
And he does, like one of Masaria's spies spots him immediately. I love that he gets past the guards by being like, "You don't understand lady problems. Like, let me in here. I got to take care of these."
You want to deal with the lady problems? I don't think you do.
And then I also thought it was interesting that Allison's like, "This is a way out. I've done this. Like, I've got an abortion."
I've hoarded up many times.
Yeah. She's like, okay. I've been doing a plan T, plan B every month for years now.
Listen, like the Queen's even done this. I know this for a fact. So it's it's okay. And Helena's like, no. And well, one of the things that I loved about this episode, and I know that you love probably about this episode because I'm sitting next to one right now.
Mm-hmm. All the cats.
All the cats.
Yeah.
You get all the cutaway scenes that were rats now taken by great advice from Mr. Hull. Now they're cats. And Helena, of course, is like, cat lady.
Yeah, of course.
Cat lady.
Of course. Why not? I mean, even my cat who doesn't have teeth or claws catches mice.
Right.
So they are born hunters, and it is a good. It's also sweet, I think. I mean, the cat comes in later, but I also think it really shows that, like, Rhaenyra is listening to Alan when he makes the suggestion, like, why don't we bring in cats?
Helena also hits the line about Aemon.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. He burns, but not by fire.
No, he burns without fire.
Without fire,
he burns without fire.
So he's gotten an infection, I think is what she's saying.
Yeah, and she's like seeing that he's in a mental pretzel himself, and her visions of that is happening. And everybody's like, well, no, Aemon's not there. He's like, oh, yeah, he is. You guys don't know.
So then we see Sabbatha Frey, who is basically harassing Rhaenyra, trying to get Harrenhal.
Well, it was promised to her.
It was promised to her by Jace. And it's, not an unfair thing, but also like the Frey. Why do the Freys want Harrenhal? I mean, I get it. They just want to get one over on the Tullys. They want to have the biggest house. But you guys, the Freys are just such an annoying house.
I loved the pairing of Manderly.
Oh yeah, and the two of them gossiping, being there, what are you doing over here?
She's getting caught up to speed, and Damon's just like,
shut the fuck up.
He's looking at him like, what the hell?
But I mean, you could just tell how much dysfunction there is because all of them are talking about different things. Rhaenyra wants them to find Aemond
or Vhagar.
Daemon wants them to go help the gold cloaks. Mysaria's still wanting to help the small folk or whatever it is. And then
throwing good money after bad.
Orwell's over there. What's Orwell talking about? Oh, he's talking about Kristen Cole and the Rivermen. And then
Baela and Adam show up.
Yeah. And are trying to give a report. I mean, we kind of skipped over Baela and Adam, but I mean, they're so cute together. I love that he's trying to help her. He's take a break, girl. You're working too hard.
Half auntie nephew thing, they're the same age. It's a little will they, won't they, and Baela.
He's obviously also when he says to her we'll go in exile together. Right. It gives me real Kristen because she's I was meant to be the queen. Right. I would have been Jace's queen. I was raised to be the queen. And he's like, well, we could just go to exile.
I had intent, I had purpose, and now you want me to be on the lam? The ironic
thing was Kristen offered Rhaenyra.
Right.
When he was like, why don't we go find oranges and eat tea? And he was just these men, man. Although I do think Adam comes from a good place, whereas Kristen comes from a my honor is everything, and you have besmirched it, and so now you have to have your life ruined too.
Right.
But they're sweet, and I like that he defends her and says she just needs some rest, but Baela won't rest because she feels guilt for Jace's death, and she says I mean it's a real Dame. It's her being Daemon's daughter for sure.
Right.
Being no, I wanted to join the battle. I wanted to have this pride.
So let's go back to the small council, the Manderleys and the Freys.
Yep.
One of my favorite scenes in all of this. Because I'm an anti-white worm person. I love the Manderley going flea bottom is a realm of its own. And he's sitting there. And
that's why I took a sip because I was I know Rollins is going to say the line.
But it was so good because it's full of undesirables.
Yeah,
I mean he's just shitting.
It's ungovernable.
Right, he's just shitting on basically Mysaria's life work of bringing the small folk to the queen. And he's like, this realm's written off. We should have paid the gold cloaks. And he was right.
Okay,
well, right.
Yes, they were. They were right. You're right. But Mysaria is the next scene. She goes to see Alicent, which you and I talked about yesterday as well, of why isn't Mysaria, who's the mistress of whispers, going to talk to Alicent? That's the more appropriate conversation with Alicent. Right. And I think Mysaria holds her own pretty well. She makes Alicent drink that moon tea.
Okay, so I think that Alicent takes a bullet. I think that she came in with only about half the truths, and she went in, and the first meeting was the opening volley. Yeah, I think Alicent played her like a fiddle. At the end of the day,
end of that, because then
she took the
she
moon
gets
tea,
caught.
She did all that. She's feeling like shit, it's messing up her system. But she is trying to protect her lie. I don't think she's protecting her daughter. I think she's trying to protect her lie.
Yeah, we're not giving Alicent any credit here, okay? No credit is going to Alicent.
She's protecting the lie to get herself out of the castle.
Yeah.
That is her one and only goal, is to get herself. And she knows if she goes by herself, then she'll be branded a coward. And why did you leave the queen there? And so that's why she does what she does. I don't think she gives a crap about her kids. And This was the opening volley, and I think the White Worm kind of fell into her trap.
So then we see Allison and Helena in the garden together. Not that, like, shortly thereafter. Helena's teaching her daughter about poison, which I think is very interesting.
I also thought it was like, oh, like, so you can't say she's dumb. Like,
no, yes, absolutely. I thought that same thing too, because Allison keeps looking at Helena when she's like pushing back, being like, oh my God, she's so stupid. And like Helena, I don't think is stupid. And Helena knows all these things about poison. She's teaching her about the bugs and everything. And then for Allison to come and say like, okay, we have to go. And she says like, well, what about Jahara? And she's like, we're just going to have to leave her basically. Like Rhaenyra will be nice to her.
She'll be okay.
Don't worry about it.
She will be fine.
Yeah. Like she'll be taken to ward.
And Helena's like up for the mom of the year now. She's like, no, I'm not leaving my daughter.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to abort the one in my belly. I'm not going to leave this one to save my own skin. And she's like, enough.
Yeah. And, she says, you look away when you lie, again, because Helena is smart.
Right.
And reads people and knows that Allison is lying to her about this. So then they try to sneak out. Helena, again, is like, where's my daughter? And they're immediately caught by
the White Worm.
Missaria. She's just like for Allison to think that she could just like walk out of there because the Kingsguard was out for the day was nuts. And she catches her. They come back, and that's when
also her spot right now, the White Worm's spot, has been like greatly diminished, and
because of Daemon,
of Daemon, and so like she is going to the most interesting thing she can observe and play around with, and this is Allison and Helena. And
yeah, when Missaria comes back and they talk again and she catches her, and Allison's trying to convince her not to tell Rhaenyra about Helena and says like, you could have a friend with the High Towers. I like that she says these are rich words coming from a High Tower because Otto went back on his promises to her. Otto's been no friend to Missaria and the White Worm over the years.
Or the low folks, but
the low folk, yeah,
I think
small folk.
I would give Allison what she did was very cunning in the way she presented the information. Well, you'll have a friend in us. Like this, like telling on us does you no good. This is the first bites of the bad apple. Like you take this bite, you don't tell them. This is now the second kind of time she's been coaxed into not giving up the information, and.
What did you think about, like, I feel like the show is still, and I've just never been Allison and Rhaenyra had some sort of sexual relationship person. Yeah. And it kind of felt like there was like some heavy implication that like, because Rhaenyra and Missaria, we did see them kiss.
Right.
But like, I feel like Allison's trying to be like, I used to be in your position and like, I didn't like that. I
think it's grasping at straws and they make it as much shock value as possible.
I do too.
The only line towards the end of it that honestly would make sense on why she would kind of break bad was she played to the White Worm's insecurities.
Yeah.
And that's with Daemon.
Yeah. With Daemon.
The Daemon comment is like the same side of and ironically we've said this about Daemon and Aemon, but they're the different sides of the same coin. She said that exact verbiage of something we've made reference to in the past. And she's not saying that out of truth. She's saying that out of anger and displeasure of both the Rogue Prince and her old
boyfriend
/ kissing buddy. And so like I think that she again, like this whole thing is Allison is a better politician than the White Worm. Allison was raised in this world. Allison has from day one witnessed how the court works.
Yeah.
And like that.
Would you say, I think Allison might be the best politician of all of them.
Yeah, by far. I mean,
she's better than Rhaenyra, better than Daemon.
From an early age, she worked her way into the king's bed and had
she was like a little bit groomed into that.
Correct. But that's the point.
Yeah, but groomed. Like, she was groomed. She was trained.
From the very beginning. And the White Worm overestimates her abilities because she come up on her own.
Yeah.
So she really looks inwards.
Sort of like Kristen, honestly.
Yeah, they look inwards and they like, I'm so smart, I'm so great, I got to this because of my own sheer will. Is they can't put themselves in these other positions because they don't understand those positions, and because they don't understand those positions, they always kind of in the end get outfoxed by the people that are
their blind spots.
Yes.
So speaking of Damon,
my guy,
there's their little spat at the small council where she says, like, why aren't you listening to me? Why aren't you like I told you to go find Aemond and you didn't.
We back on Dragonstone again where you only listen to me when you want.
Yeah. And then I think the bigger, and that's sort of a little tiff, and then the bigger conversation is the one in the Sept, where
I love this. One, I love like Damon always like throws like the one-liners that are absolutely hits home.
Yeah.
As he's walking away, as like we're closing the door.
Yeah.
To the conversation. But they go into the Sept. I like
that he starts laughing at her immediately. Right. He's like,
well, he was Damon's right about everything. Like he's like, you
right about everything feels like a little bit, a little far.
He's on par. Like he's batting a lot higher than anybody else in Westeros. The reason why he's laughing at her is like your power, your strength is your dragons. You are putting stuff into faith. Like you hear the winds through the
almonds and the rafters.
Like he's making the point. And I like how they switched when people came in from English to High Valyrian.
Yeah.
So they could make their points. And he's like, she's like, the world's coming down around me. Everything's crashing upon me. Like, I don't know what to do. Maybe it is the gods punishing me. He's like, no, these are people. Yeah. These people are punishing you because we are at war. And he laughs and scoffs at her. He's like, did you think this was going to be easy? That you're going to walk and they're going to anoint you?
I do think that he is making a very, very good point. Like,
this is never going to be easy.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when I was doing my rewatch of like, and like even a little bit with Aegon and Larys of like, people just don't, when you are in a position of power, like Rhaenyra would have been when she was the heir to the throne under Viserys, like people did not give her those hard truths. They did not tell her. And she, like, to her fault, didn't listen to people when they explained to her how difficult this was going to be, or she didn't want to believe it.
She just dismissed it because, again, like
she said, my dad said I get, like, they all swore an oath. And
2 episodes ago, when Allison's like, you have to become somebody different.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you don't. I'm like, you kind of do. Like,
and, like, I do think, like, he makes a really, really good point that she had underestimated this entirely, and like she's made a lot of mistakes because she keeps wanting to live up to the gods and to Viserys' legacy and to all these other things.
She's trying to obtain an idea that's just an idea, and it's not the reality of her current situation or what's happening in her own kingdom. And again, she should have paid the gold cloaks.
Well, she also she says like, the gods are turning against me. Where's Aegon? Where's Aemond? Where's the gold? Where's my military? People are plotting against me. And like, I do think she understands that something bigger is happening. Like all of this is falling apart for a reason.
There's these whispers that are causing it.
And she can't figure that out because they don't understand Ormond yet.
And she's also like a little earlier when she was hyper focusing her attention on Vhagar and Aemond and justice for Sheepstiller. He's like, you want this because you want revenge.
Yeah.
And revenge he tells her, revenge can wait. Like, we have to deal with the shit in front of us right now. Yeah. And that's part of her problem is she's conflicted and torn because she wants to get revenge for her son. At the same time, her whole council, again, it's just you got the new this whole show is full of buddy cops. You got Manderley and Lady Frey, which I would watch. Order me 6 episodes of that and I'd watch it. You have Larys and Aegon with out of nowhere the NWO play the music with the Lannisters rolling up, and then you have everything else going on. We have Gwen and Crispin.
Well, I thought you were going to go to the next buddy cop. Well, Gwen and Crispin's good. But the other buddy cop that's like really actually a buddy cop is that Damon, after they get in the little fight, he goes and walks the city with Luther.
Right.
And so Luther, who's the head of the Gold Cloaks, and Damon are walking around. Damon's saying, like, come on, why'd you have to get so rough with them? Like, you know, when it was just 2 dead Gold Cloaks, they were like, maybe there's just a little bit of retaliation.
Right.
But once it gets to be 6, they realize, like, something bigger is happening. And, you know, Damon's trying to say, like, look, maybe these men just need a pep talk. And Luther says, like, these aren't the men.
You last time you did a pep talk,
because
they were all babies and swallows.
And remember, actually, when I was thinking about good rallying cries, episode 1, season 1 of House of the Dragon is Damon. God, too many D's now. Damon is saying, like, I gave you these cloaks, and he's banging on a drum, and he's like, this is our city. Ah! And he rallies them all up. And
he comes back and does that again.
You know, they like cut off all the hands and dicks and everything. And so Luther's like, it's not going to work.
And then he does it, and he's really, really good at public speaking.
Yeah.
And he gets everyone behind him.
Yep. Yep.
And shit hits the fan.
Yeah. So maybe we finish with this one. They'll go back to Kristen Cole, because that's how the episode goes. Yeah. So Damon rallies them up. I mean, I think it's kind of, it also gave me, I don't want to like take it out of our running of best rally speeches, but it gave me Dany at the very last episode, the second to last episode, where she's rallying up the Dothraki and the Unsullied and saying, like, we'll go to like Dorne, to Winterfell, to Yee, like everywhere. And they're all like super excited. But the people of like Jon Snow is like, dude, we can't, what are you doing going that far? And you do see some people when he's saying like, next we're going to Dorne and then to Bravos, and we'll have the 9 kingdoms and old Valeria, we'll reinstate Valeria. And you see some people being like, okay, like I just kind of want to get like, I don't know, a bag of gold and a couple prostitutes.
Right.
Like, I don't need to go to Dorne. I could just I'd be pretty happy just chilling here.
I don't know. It was pretty inspiring. Like, let's go to Dorne. Let's go get some of
They
those
did get excited. They got excited and they charge on out there. And then shortly after, they find a prisoner, or they find a informant. And Damon starts torturing this guy.
Popping eyeballs.
Teeth. And finally, yeah. Damon really has some pent-up aggression, I think.
He has a way of getting information that most people don't. Which leads us to
when we found out, then he's got the gold coins. And you know, he leaves to go tell Rhaenyra, and Luther kills him, and you know, he then tells Rhaenyra, like, here's your problem, here's the person.
Right.
And then he goes back down there and he sees that
Luther and the boys
are, I think it was kind of weird that they obviously was meant to be a like
I think it's supposed to be
the
like
Last Supper.
Yeah, which kind of bothers
me. It's like,
me.
yeah, you're like, this is not Jesus related.
Right.
Like this is,
why do you have to do these visuals in parallel?
Yeah.
It's again, I think that's just for shock value.
And then the feast for traitors was painted on the wall behind it. And that also gave me really, and you and I talked about this 2 episodes ago about the Sons of the Harpy.
I was thinking exactly.
And I was like, man, Rollins and I really know we spent too much time in this universe for us to have been like, oh, that's a Sons of the Harpy reference.
Right.
And then this time it was like very like the Sons of the Harpy wrote like traitor. I forget what they wrote.
Eat the rich.
Yeah, basically eat the rich. Something. In blood in
it was
Marine.
It was kill the masters.
Yeah, kill the masters. Kill the masters in Marine. Yeah. And like,
but same sentiment.
It was all in like the similar font. Like it was like similarly.
There was a lot of parallels with that.
A lot of parallels. And I can't really. So I think So I think there must be some gold cloaks on the inside who are working for Ormond.
Well, they kept doing those like quick cutaway nods. Those are Hightower soldiers that are embedded in the city that are probably working the small folk, and they have a large purse of gold now.
Yeah,
and I think
like the Sons of the Harpy.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're taking their gold and they're buying people off. And they're buying.
See how deep we can get without Peter here. Like we really
would have been talking about dicks for like 10 minutes.
We would have gone on the gelding fee and said we're like, no, we're calling real deep parallels to Sons of the Harpy. Yeah,
we do miss you, Pete.
Yeah, we miss you. So this is in stark contrast to the rallying speech that Kristen gives at the end.
It's so frustrating because again, like,
God, Kristen's so delusional. He's the most delusional character.
He has this one-on-one with Gwen, basically telling him that like we're gonna die trying. Like I don't care what we do, we're gonna keep doing this. And if you want to, basically, he's like, if you want to go, you can go. But like, he's like, our forces have been cut in half. Like, poor Gwen's getting eaten by leeches.
He says there are 200 rivermen for every one of them.
Right.
They will all die.
He's like just getting consumed by disease, and like people are literally dying in the bogs as they want to leave.
Remember, Chris says, "I am the greatest warrior." Like, who's told you that? You've never even been in battle. This is your first actual, well, maybe your second actual battle. You were at Rooks Rest. Okay. Right. You did one battle. You had 2 dragons.
I also like that he just dished his armor. Like,
he's just like, whatever. And they had like the war paint down their faces. And you're just like, shut up, Kristen.
Like, we're playing out.
He says, I am the greatest warrior. I am the realm's greatest warrior, and I will die as such with clear eyes, unbent and glorious.
Because he's also Dornish.
Shut
we
up.
Forget that he is also Dornish.
Yes.
And so like, the unbent was not like, oh, we talk about the yellow toad. Now we're talking about this guy.
Kristen. And then he decides to give a rallying speech to his men.
We're going to die, but we're going to die in honor in the faith of the 7.
And then he literally just lists the 7 gods, like, and the father said, and the mother said, and people just start walking away. Like, Gwaine and a few of his soldiers are just straight up like, I'm done with this guy. This guy is delusional. We're all going to die. I don't want to die today.
So that brings me to the speeches.
Yes.
Best and worst speeches in all of Westeros.
Oh, I hadn't done a worst one. Okay.
Because I think the worst one, I'll go again.
Give a worse one.
I would say our boy Greyjoy, when he was like, fuck him with the Theon. We're gonna like, and then for every one pike or one from the Iron Islands, and
then they just hit him in the back of the head.
And like, we're done, dude. Like, it was a good speech, but like, no, we're not following you. And that's like, that was the vibes I was getting.
I didn't want to cut him off.
The Crispin speech.
Does Joffrey ever make any speeches? Because I feel like he would be the worst speech giver.
Well, he has the conversation about Widow's Wail, like when he's naming the sword.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's do a few best ones. Maybe I'll come back to it. I don't have a good worst one off the top of my head. I have a few really good ones.
All right, what's your best one?
I think the best one would be when Daenerys gets her Dothraki back, and she is like there with all the Dothraki, and she says like, the Dothraki used to have 3 Khalasar, but I name you all my Khalasar, and we will go to Westeros and burn down their stone houses, and everybody, like, her dragon comes up behind her, and everyone just goes nuts.
I will also go to Essos a little earlier, and I will say Khal Drogo. When he does the stallion that will mount the speech, and he goes a crown for a king, and he has the medal because he can't shed blood in Vas Dothraki or Vostok.
Yeah, but he's not like, they don't lead ever. Oh, I guess so. They do. Yeah, they do.
They're in the most holy city, and he's like really.
The Dothraki know how to do a good speech. Like, they get really into it.
I would say the best speech was Khal Drogo. And just like,
I have a couple other good ones.
All right, what's the other ones?
Okay, I think Tyrion, when they're being sacked by Stannis, Tyrion rallies the troops and says like, "Do not fight for your king. Do not fight for King's Landing. Like,
Right.
Fight for yourselves and fuck them up.
I also put a Tyrion speech, but it was not there. It was in the Vale when he rallied the Stone Crows. And they're like, Hoff man.
Yeah.
They go, and then he gets bashed in the head. He wakes up and he's on a cart. But I thought that speech was that was my second speech was a Tyrion half-man speech was pretty dang good.
Maybe actually I think Stannis has some lackluster speeches. I'm thinking particularly of when they march on Winterfell and just like get demolished by Ramsay immediately. Did Jon Snow ever give any good speeches? I feel like I was missing on Jon Snow. Hold on.
The only other one that I thought was a really good speech was the election of Lord Commander, and I thought Sam's speech about Jon Snow, like who was the commander.
Sam does give some good speeches.
Who was the commander that we looked to when the night was darkest, and that was our boy Sammy Tarwell.
The other one, well, we talked about Daemon at the beginning of House of the Dragon. Lyanna Mormont gives a great speech when they're all crowning Jon Snow as King of the North. Like she says, like, the North remembers one king and his name was Stark. And like she's 10 years old. And that is a good one. I feel like that's a good speech. And then we got the Dany ones. Dany has a lot of good speeches. I mean, she does a great speech when she takes Astapor and gets the Unsullied for the first time. And she and they all start
dragons aren't slaves, and they just start doing the
that. So she's a good. She's also got the one when they're leaving Marine, and it was like, we are here to talk about surrender. And they start talking to her and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I meant your surrender. Right. And then she just burns everything. It's great.
Yep.
Dany can do a good speech. These Targaryens, she's really Daemon's great granddaughter.
Yeah. She's a little down the line, but she's a part of the family.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd love to know what your favorite speeches are.
Drop us in the comments. Make sure to follow us on both Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on
YouTube, obviously.
YouTube. This is where we, I had to do my hair tonight because I went to the pool right after work. With the
rough life, Rollins.
It was. But make sure to give us a follow.
Yes. Subscribe, sign up, and let us know what you think the best speeches in Westeros have been.
And thanks for, again, coming on with us. We enjoy this. So
we've only got 3 more episodes to go. 6, 7, 8. We're almost done with this season. So stay tuned.
All right.
Thanks.
Love you guys.